movement, bro. He came in and did exactly what they would do, and he squashed it. He scared a bunch of people off of actually standing up for their rights in a very non-violent, very peaceful way, and turned it into something that, yes, you have to educate yourself about it, but the way we go about applying it is like, we gotta, for really, really, really real, choose our battles. This was one of them, but because of that motherfucker, like, they scared, plenty of people just walked out of that meeting out of the sheer audacity for this man to come in and, do you understand me? And fucking, you will not be recording up in here. Like, who are you? You're not our dad, and you're doing the same thing the county's doing if you're trying to come here and do that. That's not what we're about. You don't come talking to a bunch of people about sovereignty by barking orders at them.
There are security teams in place.
Like, no, we won't be coming here anymore.
Okay.
No.
When I was sitting there, I was thinking, I like, you know, knew everyone who was concealed carrying. I could see, you know, I was checking them all out. I mean, like, there's so many people concealed carrying. If I ever go back to a meeting like this, I'm going to concealed carry a whole lot better than them, because that is scary as shit. Being surrounded in a room by a whole bunch of people, many of whom, like, a lot of them are really good people, but there are some who are obviously unstable.
And armed.
And armed.
And the cold part is, we have to organize. I mean, I'm like, of course we have to organize. Stop yelling. Yeah. I know it gets kind of loud in the room, but what you're doing is like, we're not in boot camp. This is not going to be boot camp. We are in, I wouldn't even say school. We are in a university, and that's the University of Truth. And we're going to go ahead and go through our, just like we know we should have been able to do in regular school, we're going to go on our own course. This is not going to be one of those situations where you try to give me you can give me the Sovereignty for Dummies handbook if you want, but don't sit here and try to militarize me, because we don't need to be near that at the present moment, because we still need to be showing the world exactly how bad they are. We need to show Neil getting arrested for sitting on a windowsill while nobody else gets arrested for doing all kinds of other shit.
Yeah.
We need to show them saying that we can't do this and that on our own land. They're hanging them their own selves. This is the only way that people are going to start to see just how fraudulent these motherfuckers' claim of authority is, because they're just going to keep making shit up. They're psychopaths.
If we make a color-coded map with a number designation every time the police show up, or the code enforcement shows up at someone's property, 24 people converge on that property to heckle the fuck out of the police, what are the police going to start doing? Rolling out in tanks. They're going to roll out in whatever they can. They're going to get that ballot measure passed where they have 40mm grenade launchers, or the budget passed, I mean.
Exactly. And then
they're going to have, this is not what we want. I'm not here to increase tension. I'm here to help people. I'm here to just help people and be a good guy. That's why I moved out here.
Make lasting change in people's lives every day. And this is going to be able to, we're on the path to doing that with this. Because we were talking about getting workshops together where people can get informed. We were talking about meeting up, and in public meetings that we are posting, hey, come along on down. We're going to be studying what a person is today from Black's Law Dictionary. We're going to study what
build up a library of all of those books that we need.
How truth is defined in Black's Law Dictionary, how in the dictionaries that they use, and the dictionary that Black's Law Dictionary used. And we're going to we're going to reveal truth, and that's how you beat the lie. But we're not going to win if we just keep doing this fight thing every time. It's fight or flight. And now this dumb motherfucker that got us in a flight situation where it's like, damn, we were going to fight in our own way and we were going to probably win, but now because of whoever the fuck you are, which we still haven't verified, most people who aren't rooted here are talking about flight. And it's all your fault, Rodger. So you did a good job if you're an agent of the establishment. I'm not saying you are, because that's one of the most insulting things that I can tell a person to me. But I don't know if you really are, but you're suspect, your tactics are suspect, and in the light of the type of people you're dealing with, you're not dealing with a bunch of 30-year-old single guys with nothing to lose. You're dealing with a bunch of people who have roots from wherever, and they have lives that they want to lead, and they do have, they have something to lose. And I'm not saying that we should trade any amount of security, any amount of our liberty for security. But what I am saying is that everybody, what we've talked about in these meetings, has to assess their own level of threat and risk that they're willing to accept onto their person and into their environment. And you cannot fault another person for not accepting the same amount of risk that you are willing to accept, and then call yourself a person who believes in freedom. So, yeah, I find it insulting that certain people would hand themselves over to the state. I find it insulting that anyone would. But that's not my business to judge that person and say they're a bad person because of it.
He's so for freedom. He's so for individual freedom. But you know how many times... Oh, well, okay, you get with Chloe and she'll give you this information. Get with... Chloe can post this online. Why are you... She hasn't said a thing. Why are you dictating that you're voluntolding her? You're going, oh, Chloe's my go-to person. You didn't talk to her beforehand. It's... You are taking away another person's freedom. You don't realize that.
You're an archon.
What exactly happened there? When there was some sort of interaction with Chloe and dialogue about posting.
They called her, and it was really insulting to me because I talked...
Repeatedly as he was talking, let me take it. Repeatedly as he was talking, he'd be handing out papers and be like, you know, the judge hands out these papers, and the Colorado Grand Jury Administrator or whatever, they hand out papers of information. He's like, okay, we've only got 11 copies of this, but anything, if you need any more, like, here, Chloe, take this and post this up online. It's like, and
in that exact form.
Here, Chloe, get everyone's contact information. Like, Chloe will get all your contact information and post it online, and Chloe will organize this, and Chloe will organize that, and Chloe will do this. And she's like, I'm not your... And he... What was it he called her after I left?
He called her, and it made me sick. It made me... My skin
I left early. He was staying.
He called her a sexcatary. And what he was trying to say was a secretary who texts all this shit, because mostly things are done predominantly online. But what he said, and he said it 3 times to clarify, sextatary. And I was just like, ugh, that's just an ugly, nasty word. And I don't objectify women like that. I even told Chloe, like, a lot of times a girl will smile at me. I don't see that as an invitation to run up, because I'm not trying to control her day. Just because I think she's cute doesn't mean I have some kind of, I don't have the audacity to just make myself a part of this person's life.
Assume that
I'm supposed to, that they want me to, just because they smile at, just because they're being friendly. You know what I'm saying? Just because they're pretty. So I you know, a lot of times I don't talk to the pretty girl. Well, you know what? I don't fucking try to control people. And that's what Rodger came in there and fucking just nasty, like, ew. They even had to tell him about drinking. They're like, yeah, well, you know, if we're gonna be forming groups that rapid response team, nobody can be drinking. And it was kind of directed at him, like, ha ha ha, but everybody...
Rapid response team, there's a guy named Colt who's an associate. That's his Facebook profile. He's been going into other groups talking about this tactical response team, which is very different than showing up and saying, hey, man, why you
that's his Facebook alias, actually.
And there's a lot of people with aliases for a reason on Facebook.
Do you know what Nick said? Nick said that the reason why that motherfucker... what did he say? Fuck, go ahead. Because I done forgot now. Oh, Manny, that's why I got the wrong person. Manny said that it's just like that movie Inception. It was the best analogy. He said on the movie Inception, he said, I'm gonna protect you from infiltrators. But the guy telling you that I'm gonna protect you from infiltrators is the infiltrator.
Yeah.
Because everybody else here...
I guess that had some Archon themes in it. Inception.
Oh, of course.
I need to see it again.
Everything nowadays does, but it was that's just a simple concept. The only way you're going to convince somebody that they're not in a dream, or that they are in a dream, or whatever you're trying to convince them of, is if they trust you. And the first thing you do is you point out an imaginary you in somebody else. And you say, there's going to be people who try to break us up. There's going to be people who will come in here. And you're like, oh man, I gotta watch out for those people. Come on, Rodger, me and you will watch out for those people together, because you sound like you know what you're talking about.
Now, did you see people mesmerized by his...
No. Hell no.
Most people were not
like
enthused at all. Most people were just like... So wait, what? No, this is not
that type
not
of
right.
shit. Like that's a meme for your ass.
Like,
Right.
He kept saying, and us veterans have got to stick to, and he kept motioning to people, and I'm not saying shit. I'm just sitting there in the corner, like, mouth
Nobody's
closed.
agreeing with him.
And when he kept doing it, he kept motioning to other veterans, and this other guy who's sitting there, he's like, he hasn't motioned to him at all. He's like, he gets up and he starts to walk out, and Rodger stopped him as I think that one of the other guys was talking. And Rodger stopped. He was like, "Where are you going?" He's like, "I don't want to be. I don't want to be a part of this group. I don't see this as being a whatever." He's like, "Come on, man. You got to come out. Don't you love the veterans? That you want to support us veterans?" He's like, "I was in for 12 years," and he just walks out or says something like that. And just walks out. He's like, "Fuck this shit." You know, just.
He's and this is the thing, it doesn't matter.
Goes out and gets in his truck and leaves. He's like, I don't feel comfortable.
It doesn't matter if he's an agent of any official office.
Or just a megalomaniac who is a sociopath that wants his own army. By studying his Facebook page, he appears to be homicidal. He appears to have a certain amount of bloodlust that he's, for some reason, feels that he needs to post about that publicly.
Yeah, he posted something about...
Those are things that can get someone thrown in jail, the things he's posting on his page.
Yeah, he posted something about how he, like, about going into a psychiatrist and wanting to kill and getting and telling the psychiatrist all that, getting the psychiatrist starts yelling, "Kill, kill, kill" with him, and then a sergeant comes in and pins a medal on his chest and says, "You're our boy."
You should.
But the really funny thing is,
I was going to do a separate video. I downloaded his page.
You know what a dynamic?
The really funny thing about that is, he spelled sergeant wrong. Guy claims to have been in the army for 18 fucking years. He can't spell sergeant.
And he doesn't have any pictures of himself serving.
Check this out. But even if he was in the military, so that makes him not an agent, because an agent ain't gonna fuck up like that, especially on something so obvious. But the dynamic that I saw,
think that's his real name.
But the dynamic that I saw at work there, which was interesting, and I don't even think it was a bad thing, but people who resonated more with what Rodger was saying as far as the radicalization of it were people who were already being aggressed towards by the so-called de facto government, and those people have already expressed a higher level of risk acceptance. So it's almost like people who are willing to get down definitely want Rodger with them. But people who are ready to get down definitely want Rodger with them. But the majority of the people at that thing are ready to get down in a different way, a much more specific and critical way, which is just information, period. It's an information war. That's why we live in the information age. Usually more people are killed by information nowadays than actual bullets and bombs. It's like, we know where these motherfuckers are, this is the information, boom, we took them all out with one little shell.
One thing to also add in, if you just do a quick Google search on him, he's been setting up different Facebook pages. So you've got Operation Patriot Rally Point, Arizona, you've got Florida, you've got Texas. He was living in South Dakota. He was living in New Mexico. This man
trying to drown his name?
Has been going all around the world, I mean the country.
Is he trying to drown his name?
Either that or he's just...
what do you mean?
When you drown your name, this is a common thing that people with felonies do when they or even active felonies, they'll get on Google, because you can do a Google search for things like that. So what you'll do is you create a bunch of profiles. You get on every social network, but you use that same Google, that same Gmail, and it quantifies your name and pops up. And so when they look up your name on Google,
people do that in the
Twitter
news
will count.
media as well.
Yeah,
Alex Jones does that too. He'll create, we won't get off topic, but I've seen that technique used when something comes up. They'll use those keywords and shift the Google search engine. If you know what you're doing, it's not hard to do.
It's not hard to do at all.
I'm not sure that is his real name. What I'm saying is it's clear he's been active trying to also raise money. He's got YouTube videos trying to guilt trip people into giving them significant amounts of money for basically absolutely nothing.
Then this man can't be an agent of the state. I'm just telling you, like, that's sloppy. Everything he's doing is sloppy.
I think they're just, that they are in fact a far right wing, or I don't know, whatever wing.
That's where we were right there last night.
A fairly extremist group. They want to...
That's true. That may be the case.
They wanted, like... I don't know about this maritime law and admiralty law versus common law thing, and how the judges are not, like, they said that all bar attorneys take a bar in London, so they're traitorous and treasonous to the U.S. I don't know about that. I don't want to know about that. I'd rather not deal with the judicial system and all that. But I think that thinking that you, for some reason, because you're a natural-born American citizen, are above paying taxes or being a part of the society in that way. Like, yes, the monetary system is not ideal, but we have it, and right now people pay taxes, and that helps things. That helps other people.
That's where I disagree, because first of all, we've proven that taxes don't go where they're supposed to go.
Taxes don't go where they're supposed to go, but they a lot of the time.
And it's supposed to be voluntary. Any act that is not voluntary is violence. Violence. And until it's seen that way, that's a humanist concept.
That is true, yeah.
This is the
If
beautiful.
it's not voluntary, it's fucking
This
violence.
is the beautiful crossover
This is what it's about.
of the Rio Grande River. This is it. This is what it's about.
Permits and shit, and we
This is Lobato Bridge. This is a beautiful place. I want to get a fishing permit, and I want to learn how to fish. And I'm going to come down here and go to the right places to go in the future.
I know you can dig that.
And I'm going to
say that. I know you can dig that shit.
learn how to fish.
That's violence, man.
I want to take my motorhome and spend a semester taking the fly fishing training course up in Leadville.
Nice.
To be a fly fishing guide, then learn all about, like, go around, pay for some paid guided tours and shit to learn to be really good at tenkara fishing, which is an extreme minimalist Japanese style of fly fishing. And I just love, I like fishing, I like walking along, hiking. I've got a really hard time with it, but I like to have a motivation to go out and go hiking, and fishing is one of those motivations. It's one of the things that got me to, be able to walk as well as I can now.
I think this is a good note to conclude on. We came out here to do things like that, to fish, to build,
To help people.
to help
We can't
people,
do that
to
here.
see the stars, not to have people come in and disrupt what we're doing.
And if we can't do that here, and if it's going to become a trend that we can't do that anywhere in America, then white people, black people, Mexican people, Asian people, and every other denomination of type of variant of person in this country have to admit that this is not a free fucking country. Stop doing that. It's insulting. It's fucking insulting to everybody else in the world who is not free really either. But when people, what the argument is, and I'll let you close it out like this. The argument always is from a coward, from a nigger, from a fucking slave, that, oh, well, have you ever been to other countries? It's so bad over there. They don't have any. I'm like, motherfucker, you're just saying that one plantation, slave plantation, is better than the other slave plantation because you get a couple more variants of rights. You get a couple more chicken bones per night than the other plantations. They let you guys spend 45 minutes after dark out than just 10. But you're still a fucking slave, and you know it. You're just a coward and won't admit it. You're going through what they call that shit that cowards go through. Excuse me, I'm not going to generalize people, but that certain people go through denial. I've never gone through denial. I go through the shit. I accept that shit the moment it happens. So, carry on, man.
Absolutely. Well, we are driving right now through the Rio Grande Ranchos, and I just want to give people, a view as we see the dust behind us. People often ask, what brought you here? I know that I'm really attracted to this type of a landscape to where I can step back from mainstream society. I can step back from all that stuff. And in a world of rules and regulations, it's not that I'm escaping all that. I'm coming to a place of peace where I can do my own thing, not be in danger, and also not be an annoyance to other people.
And not be suppressed. Not suppressed
Exactly.
or be suppressed. Because my presence can suppress kind of somebody too close, and it's not really my fault. It's not really their fault. But you know what I'm saying? I don't want to suppress, and I don't want to be suppressed. I can walk around out here in my own thoughts, and I feel like somebody's going to interrupt me with, hey, you want to try such and such and such? Or, hey, what are you doing and where are you going? Or,
Right.
hey, can I get $1 or can I get a cigarette, or whatever the case may be, to where it's like, you don't even value me in any way, shape, or form. We have no connection. You just want from me. You just want everything. You just want to suck my fucking soul out. And this is why people like Kurt Cobain kill themselves. This is why people like River Phoenix kill themselves. This is why people fucking martyr themselves. There's only like 3 ways through. You go in as a blind person, you go in as a martyr, or you go in as a fucking suicide. Period. which is kind of the martyr and the suicide are kind of the same thing, psychologically.
I came out here for solitude, but I wanted to have solitude with community. I've always been the type of person who only has, you know, I can count my close friends on one hand. Maybe I might have to spill over onto the second. But I've got, I've always liked to have just a little bit of community to support, but I have been searching for the solitude, and I like having people to help. I like helping people, and I like having people to help. So being out here, being by the highway, so I can see the whole highway. If someone breaks down on this side of the highway, I can see, I can get in my truck and go down there and say, hey, anything I can help you with? I can volunteer and take care of a couple of miles of highway.
Right.
We're wanting to build a bicycle infrastructure in this area so that people can bike safely all around here and increase bicycle tourism, increase all of that, and just help people, help everything, help the local economy, help people do things more efficiently, help people have a good solar system if they have solar power, just helping people. And because I know that I need help, and I've been helped so many times throughout my life. I'm doing much better now, but I had quite severe PTSD, and through behavioral or cognitive behavioral therapy, I have improved that. But I recognize that other people have similar problems, and I want to help them get past whatever their problems are, or get not necessarily past them, but oh, it's on the right side.
Nice.
I guess not really get past them, but I just want to help people with whatever their problems are. If they have a problem with, they don't have a well, I'll help them get a well. If they don't have this, that, or the other, I'll help them get this, that, or the other.
Well said. And those are values we're supporting, and that's why we're here, as opposed to the agendas of people like Rodger and others, and that's why this video is being made.